Vocal variety. All right, I've given you a list of tongue twisters and you can pick from those and find one that will work for you. But one of the methods that I have found that works really well to help you increase the vocal variety in your presentation is using tongue twisters. So let me start with one that I've memorized. And I'll mix it up a little. I'll start kind of monotone and then I'll mix it up for you just so you can kind of hear what you can do with your voice. I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, animal, vegetable, and mineral. I know the kings of England and I quote the fights historical from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. I'm very well acquainted too with matters mathematical. I understand equations, both simple and quadratical. About binomial theorem, I'm teeming with a lot of news with many cheerful facts about the square of hypotenuse. I'm very good at integral and differential calculus. I know the scientific names of beings and innocuous. In short, in matters animal, vegetable, and mineral, I am the very model of a modern major general. All right, what I'd like you to do is pick one of the tongue twisters that I've provided you with, or one that you'd like to use that you already know. Like a lot of people know, Peter Piper picked a peck of peppered pickles. And what we're gonna do is work with that tongue twister, or part of that tongue twister, to learn about vocal variety. Specifically, we're gonna learn about volume, rate, pitch, rhythm, word emphasis, and pauses. So let's take each of those and look at them, and I'll explain how they work and give some examples, and then you can try them before you practice your speech using the tongue twisters. So the first thing is volume. The way we get volume is we relax ourselves and we use our diaphragm, which is this piece of tissue that kind of rises and falls as we breathe. And it pushes air up through our windpipes. And the more air we push through, the louder our voice becomes. And so the way you do this is just take a deep breath and we can go loud. I am the very model of a modern major general. And we can go soft. I have information, animal, vegetable, and mineral. Now, neither of those versions are that exciting. So what you realize when you study vocal variety is it's the differentiation between the loud and the soft that makes our voice exciting. So try it like this. I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, animal, vegetable, and mineral. And so by going back and forth from loud to soft, our voice becomes a lot more exciting. Okay, the next one is rate. Rate is how fast or how slow we talk. I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, animal, vegetable, and mineral. Again, going fast all the time or going slow all the time is not that exciting. So what we want to do is go back and forth from fast to slow. The way we manipulate speed is our lips, how quickly our lips move. It's an articulation thing. Sometimes the tongue's involved. But what we want to do is take our tongue twister. I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, animal, vegetable, and mineral. I quote the fights historical from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. Okay, so we want to manipulate fast to slow with our rate. The next one is pitch. How high or how low we use our vocal pitch. Now, if you've ever played the guitar or the ukulele, you know that the fatter, less tightly strung strings, there's a tongue twister, are lower resonance. So they vibrate slower and they're larger. And if we want our pitch to be high, we would pluck the top string, which is tightly strung and it's a little thinner. So that's the same thing that happens in our vocal cords. We have these cords and our voice goes through them, and so the higher pitch would be a little tension. We add tension, we tense up our body, and for lower pitch, we would relax our body and relax our vocal cords. That's why a lot of people, when they're nervous, they sound kind of tense. So again, with our tongue twister, it's the variety between high pitch and low pitch, and I'll just demonstrate that. I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information animal, vegetable, and mineral. Okay, so we want, again, variety between high pitch and low pitch. We also have pauses. Pauses are probably the easiest thing to use, especially if you don't have a lot of practice manipulating your voice. So in using a pause, we would take our tongue twister and say, I am the very model of a modern major general, or I am the very model of a modern major general, or I am the very model of a modern major general. Now we can also add word emphasis to that, and that would sound very similar, but we may raise or lower our pitch before or after the pause. So I am the very model of a modern major general, or I am the very model of a modern major general, or I am the very model of a modern major general. So using pitch along with those pauses helps. We can also do word emphasis, and that again puts more into that equation. I am the very model of a modern major general, or I am the very model of a modern major general, or I am the very model of a modern major general, or I am the very model of a modern major general. Okay, so that's a little bit about word emphasis. All of that will combine to make a rhythm. The normal rhythm of this tongue twister is, I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, animal, vegetable, and mineral. Not very exciting. So again, we need to break that up using volume, rate, pitch, rhythm, and word emphasis. I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, animal, vegetable, and mineral. I know the kings of England. And so we decide where we're going to emphasize, and we decide where to put the pauses. So what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to look at the tongue twisters that are there and practice using your voice. Practice manipulating volume, rate, pitch, rhythm, word emphasis, and pause. And have a fun time doing it. And I'm looking forward to hearing your presentations with lots of vocal variety.